We are live. We actually, this is what it looks like during the daytime when I walk to work. Right now I'm going to the store and yeah, so I'm on my way to the store and this is it during the daytime. So the walk I'm taking, it ain't that far. The store really ain't that far from me. It's closer than where I work. But anyway, this is what the view looks like. There's the hills there. There's the Highway 12 old building. Anyway, so this is how it looks. It's like the what they, no, over here it looks like that. This is kind of cool, I think. When I was a kid, I used to play in those. I'm looking, I'm thinking to myself, how the heck did I play in those? Not these ones. These are plastic. They didn't have the plastic ones when I was younger. Those ones over there, we're coming up to them. They always remind me of the last scene on Raiders of the Lost Ark, when that dude's hauling that big Ark box to put it away, and you got all them boxes in there. Well, there you go right there. That's what it looks like. Here, I'll get a close-up on it. See? Anyway, so here I am walking. And this is the route I take to work. So, it's what it looks like during the daytime. I've done these videos when I go to work, so it's kind of still dark because the sun's not up yet. So it's 4 or 3 in the morning, and I head to work. And it take me about 50 minutes to walk there. So 50. Some people think I say 15, but it's 50. Anyway, so that's what it looks like in the daytime. Really nice. They got street lights, so it's safe. A lot of people ask me if it's dangerous, do I see weird stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I guess in the daytime you could see weird stuff too. And so, hear the sirens? Well, it's an ambulance or a small fire truck, something like that. Anyway, but here's where I walk, and here is Washington Fruit. Big old place. And, there they are. See? Looks like the last view of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what I always think of them. And I used to play in those. I used to climb all the way to the top, and we would play up there, tag, and I don't know what all. Why did we do that? We could have fell and really hurt ourselves really good, Anyway, kids, right? Well, we play like when I was a kid anyway, I played like I was invincible. I used to run on top of trains and jump from one car to the next, just like the movies, which I didn't understand that. Then we used to try to run and catch the train, which I didn't understand that either. But kids, right? It's empty today. Usually there's just trucks lined up on all those doors. But I am going for a little walk here, and there goes a car right there. And I tell you, oh man, all this stuff I listened to today, it's crazy. I mean, it's always been crazy, don't get me wrong. But just the extent of the crazy that's going on, it blows my mind. It really blows my mind. I mean, see, look, Indiana Jones. Good shot. Anyway, just the stuff I hear, a lot of this, and I see why people want to zone out. I see why people want to not give a damn, if you will. I mean, it's crazy, but I can see it. Because nothing. It always reminds me of the scripture in Isaiah. Woe to those that call good evil and call evil good. And just the justification. Even the people, because I'll go through YouTube. I'll go through, the what's that one? Instagrams. I'll go through the TikToks, and it blows my mind because the people go and they try to tell people, oh, there goes a meth car right there. That's not a drug car. I don't know what is. And I know people say you shouldn't make judgments. Well, That's usually how they look. I can't say specifically that that is one, but that's generally how they look. 3 tires on the top, bike tires of all things, ratted out, whole bunch of stuff in the back seat. I mean, that's usually how they look. Anyway, going back to this now. They're trying to tell people about Jesus, and none of it makes sense. None of it I mean, I'm serious. They use that same old rhetoric, you know, get away from your sins, blah, 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 you know. and it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. To me, it's crazy. To me, it's really, really crazy. Because, you know, it's like, what it looks like is they're trying to promote something because they don't even believe what they're saying. That's what it looks like. You know? I mean, it just blows my mind. And then you got so many people hurting. I mean, a lot of people hurting. And it's not hurting as in, because, you know, I mean, we all go through stuff. We all go through money stuff. We all go through family stuff. We all go through workplace stuff. You know, all the stuff that we go through. You know what I mean? And just like the other day at work, I'll share this. So there's a gentleman there, and he's a conservatist. He's a conservatist, which is cool. That whatever he wants to be, he can be. Now, me, I really don't put a title on myself. I really don't. You know. And this guy, I worked with him for the last 2.5 months. And really, honestly, the gentleman really has nothing, if you will, encouraging to say. Like, and I quit asking him a long time ago, but when I first met him, I said, "How you doing today, Joseph?" "Oh, my back, you know, it's shot and I can't hardly walk." I mean, he just goes to, and it's always the same scenario with him, which I quit. So he noticed, I think he noticed, because he didn't do that anymore with me. With the other guys he did, with me, he didn't. He kind of just gave me a little joke here and there, which is cool too. Anyway, so we're all sitting around. There's like 5 of us there, you know, and the guy that I work with, good dude, really nice guy, really good guy. I like that guy a lot. What the heck's his name? Mac. Really good guy. He's really awesome. So Mac goes, and Mac says, you know, because the guy that complains a lot used to be a cop, you know. And, of course, people have had run-ins with cops, some police officers. That wasn't a good experience. And I know people say that, well, just obey orders and blah, blah, blah. But you'll get the ones that are a little too excited about their job and really try to and I had that experience as well. Now, I don't dislike all cops, but there's some cops that are just mean, just like anybody else, you know. And I know people try to say they're held to a higher standard. That's the most stupidest thing I heard, you know, in my life. And that's the truth. Anyway, so this idea got into it and whatever. It's another whole different can of fish, I guess you'd say, or can of worms or whatever they want to call it. Anyhow, so Mac made a joke, and one of the other buddies came in, and he's the head guy actually, but he said, "Yeah, have you ever tried deep fried Oreos with bacon wrap?" And my first impulse to go, ooh, because, you know, dessert and bacon. But I guess when you eat pancakes and you put syrup on there and the bacon's there, it's going to be like a sweet dessert. You know what I mean? Well, look, there goes our boys in blue right there, just speaking about it. But they're nice. That one's nice because he's going the other way. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I was thinking, wow. So we're all talking about it, and he's the guy's Justin, that's his name, my good friend. He said, "It's really good. You got to try it." He goes, "I know initially you think, but," he said, "it's pretty darn good." I thought, I might have to check that out sometime, you know, maybe. So then Mac says to the guy that complains a lot, he says, "Yeah, I don't think he'll eat them because he used to be a cop, and if he eats pork, that would be considered cannibalism, which I had to laugh because that was funny. As they call them pigs, eating a pig. I get it, so we all laughed. Well, Joseph didn't like it too much. He didn't like it at all. The thing is about the grumpy guy, he goes and he says jokes. He does. He says under his breath, and then a little derogatory at times, a little bit. And so we're there, and he does this derogatory joke, if you will, and he goes and he excuse me, he goes and he goes and he gets upset. I mean, just blatantly upset. And of course, the gentleman that said the joke kind of felt bad. And he said, well, maybe I should apologize to him. I told him, no, you ain't got to apologize to him, man. I said, if you dish it out and you can't take it, don't dish it out. If you can't get what you give, don't give, Because honestly, he just the grumpy guy just got a really sad, mad look on his face, and cause I think it's because we were all laughing at him, and it was just a joke we were laughing at. It was pretty good. So that's what happened at work. So then, Mac really felt bad about it. I said, well, that's cool that you feel bad, bro, but this is our setting. We've known each other for almost 3 months now. And we kind of got the gist of our ribbing each other, so we know it ain't nothing new. But the fact that this guy's going to do that, and the poor guy, I feel bad for him, but he kind of looks like he pushes people away, and it's okay. I mean, that's however anybody, this is how I look at it. However anybody wants to be, that's on them. Well, you're walking with me in Yakima. Look at that. Extreme Diesel. I don't know where they're getting the diesel at, but there used to be a car here. It was an oil car from a train. I don't know how they moved it or what, but they sure got it out of here. I don't know if these tracks still work. Maybe. Anyway, so it was a little uncomfortable at the moment, but I was like, no. If the dude can't dish it, he shouldn't, give it. And the lady we work with, and of course she has one of those situations, but I come in to work that morning and she says, over there, kind of like commanding me. I looked at her and said, hey lady, I'm not one of your puppies, because she has dogs. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But she got the clue, I don't talk to you that way. Don't talk to me that way. You know what I mean? And I don't know if she had a situation with another guy. And it's one of those situations where someone feels inadequate, so they try to flex their supervisory muscles and try to do a little pushing back. But I'm not the guy to do that to, because I really, really, really don't put up with it. I really, really, really don't. I just don't. She found that out, and I guarantee you she won't do it again. And anyway, so that's what I mean by we all face, problems. We all face situations. But when I'm talking, and I win all that just to say this, the problems that I'm talking about people facing, or the troubles that people are facing, is not your everyday roundabout problems, like those kind of problems. I'm talking about like terror within themselves, that they look, well, I'll say it like Jesus said it. It said he had compassion on them because they look like sheep having no shepherd. That's what he said. And from what I understand about sheep and all that, is that without a shepherd, they get lost. Without a shepherd, they just stand around and cry. They don't get guidance to water. They don't, They get stuck in bushes, things like that. And no direction, period. And I see it. I see it a lot. I see it. I see it in people's faces. Just how would you say? The people I work with, you know, the people that I work with, I literally can see it on them. Even the people in the store, you know, it just seems crazy that, and I don't want to say they're missing something because I can't say that. I don't know people's hearts, but just the look, they look troubled. People look troubled, you know. And of course, it goes back to scripture. It goes back to what the Bible talks about, you know. When it describes mankind from head to toe in Romans 3:10, there is none that doeth good, no, not one. Well, if you took that and you brought it to some folks, they would be upset. And they would say to you, oh, no. I can't go with that fully because I do good, you know. Like the other day, I gave this homeless person a sandwich, you know. But here, let me share something with you. What it means by when it says there's none that does good. When it says that, it's not saying they don't do good at all. Here's what it's saying. We do good, yet the no good that we do overrides the good we attempt to do. How's that? Okay, so we're coming to a intersection here. It is a street coming up. You can see cars going by. Okay, so any good that we attempt to do, any kind of good that we try to do, is taken away or canceled out, if you will, by the no good that we do. And that's what that means. That's exactly what that means. So, in case in point, let me share with you. You cannot kiss somebody 9 times and slap them once. And why is that? Well, because the one slap will override the 9 kisses. Because that's what anybody wants. It's either all kisses or all slaps. It's not both. So, because it's not that way, again, going back to the idea of any good that we could do or any good that we try to do is overridden by the good, by the no good we don't do. That's what it means by when it says, there is none that doeth good, no, not one. Now, let's say, and it happens a lot. I mean, it happens so much, it's crazy. But let's say that somebody went and they treated you great. This happened many times. Wonderful, I mean, beautiful, fantastic, the best, right? Let's say that happens. So this person treats you amazing. And let's say 5 years pass and every day is a great day. I mean, every day is phenomenal. But in the end, they had a hidden agenda to do something bad to you. Immediately, any kind of euphoric emotions or feelings that you would have towards that person for all the good that they did for you would be canceled out by the hidden agenda of wanting to destroy you. In other words, the good they did was to try to get to the point where they could destroy you. Boy, that would be pretty bad, right? See what I mean? Okay. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Then it says this, there is none that understands. Now remember, this is Romans 3:10. There is none that understands. Well, how can we? You know, how can we? I mean, if somebody's been in prison since their birth, okay? Now think about it. I know we like to think, well, that wouldn't be me. I would never go to prison, or I would never go to, and that's fine, But a lot of people are imprisoned by their money, imprisoned by their jobs, imprisoned by their situation, imprisoned by their fear of what other people think, because they'll do stuff that normally wouldn't do because they don't want nobody to think bad about them. So if a person is born in a cell and they live in a cell and they're in that cell, let's say they turn 30. If you open that cell door, they're not going to leave. They're not going to walk out. Because that cell to them is everything. You know, they would not understand what freedom is. Their idea would be, well, this is freedom. I'm protected. I'm safe. I'm closed in. I'm okay. You know, I get 3 squares a day. I got a bunk. I'm good. And so that, in fact, would be no understanding of that. There would be no understanding of what freedom is. There would be no understanding because they've never experienced it. Okay. So how would we be able to understand God if we never experienced him? See the difference now? That's why we don't understand. See? That's why we must be born again. But the stuff that's given today is, well, be a good person. Stop sinning. Go to church. Be a good person. Be nice. You know, that's the rhetoric that's given today. You know, instead of someone being born again. Okay? Then you have to ask yourself, well, what does that really mean? You know, because don't get me wrong, there's churches full of people. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, a lot. And they do the ritual, you know. I'll give you the ritual. Most churches follow this ritual. You get ready to go. You head there. You walk in. You sit down. Or you shake hands. And then you sit down. Then, of course, they open, if you will. And then they sing some songs. And then, of course, there's a few people that'll do special songs. And then, of course, you pray again. You collect the money. Of course, there might be a couple of people that want to say a few things, and they're allowed sometimes. And then, of course, the dude that is the ultimate dude, you know, speaks. Uh-oh, look at this. Anyway, so what happens is the guy speaks, you listen, you've got to say amen, because if you don't, that means you don't agree with him, and you don't want to be the one in left field not praising the guy, or if you will, supporting. That's what they say, you know, or what do they say too? They say this too, which is the most dumbest saying I've ever heard. Expecting. That's the most stupidest junk I ever heard. Like, God is not God where you are at your house. He's not really God until you get here. Like, miss me with all that. Anyway, so that's the whole scenario. That's the crazy scenario. Okay, so you got that. And you have that predominant Sundays, Saturdays, sometimes Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays. You have that so dominant. You do. You have that prevalent. And that's the ritual. That's the religious. I call it the religious hamster wheel. Because that's all they do. Get into character, time to suit up and be a Christian, act accordingly. You know? Okay, fine. So that's what they do. Okay, so after they do that, and that's what people expect it to be. You know? You'll get people in there that are down on their luck sometimes. And they'll get in there and they'll hear some good things. There's no question about that. But see, anybody that's been on hard times is very, very vulnerable and easily impressioned. Because all their life they've been through crap you know? And all of a sudden, this experience, if you will, which is a carnal thing, it's not spiritual. They hear these things and they say, okay. So then the person says, well, say these words. They say those words. Okay, you're good now. Come on in, join us. You're part of us. That kind of, and that's not God. That's not it at all. That's not it. But that's what you see over and over again. And it compounds the air. Like even this old lady I sit with, I talk to her about it. And she's a churchgoer. You can see it. She's older, like 80 something, I think she is. Churchgoer. And she, stands by it. Because that's what she, so if you will, she was conditioned to be, oh, God has a plan for you. What does that mean? You know what I mean? Well, let me in on it, dude. Shoot. And then they'll have an answer. Well, you will. You just, you'll be okay. The religious, even the way I'm speaking, more churches would be totally upset with me. I mean, super upset.